Today we're flying ANA Business Class from NRT Tokyo to SFO San Francisco. It's almost 5 p.m. on Christmas Day and super excited for this. So we are in the Boeing 777-300 and this is a super nice product. We'll run through our day, the ground experience, lounges, and pretty much everything you need to know before you hop on this flight yourself. Big favorite before we dive in is to give this a thumbs up to help with the algorithm. If you are new and you want to upgrade your travel, then consider subscribing. Today we're flying Hong Kong Airlines Economy to Narita. So we are currently in Hong Kong, it's December 24th right now, and we need to make it over there for tomorrow for our flight back to the US. The reason we booked this is because it's surprisingly affordable compared to all the other options. Cafe and everyone else wanted about $700 per person for one way, and this was about $150. Economy also isn't bad. We also somehow still have status back from 2019. So for that reason, we have water. No one else has water back here. We also had free checked bags, and I had 2 checked bags. Also, Mandy's luggage was overweight. We had lounge access and priority boarding. So pretty nice. The seat itself is pretty minimal, but it works. It's a 242 configuration, and it's relatively spacious. So for example, take a look at my knees. This is me sitting proper, relaxed, still fine. And then super relaxed is when it touches. But otherwise, it's pretty good. Yeah, normal relaxed is fine. We're flying an A330, and one interesting note is that all the safety information is more well decorated and kind of cute. So that's pretty much the branding. Also, red's a pretty big theme given the flag for Hong Kong. See red throughout on the seats and pretty much everywhere in curtains and the wall side of it, other than these ones. So the front walls are red as well. Seats aren't too bad at all, and these move left to right, so you can kind of sleep on it, and you can also move it up. And they do replace these, I'm guessing, after each flight to keep the headrest clean. Bit of an older control and setup over here. Yeah, 4-hour flight and should be a pretty good one. And once we're there, we're gonna just relax. And then tomorrow we have our big flight, the ANA Business to SFO. Taking a look at the seat, it's about 3 iPhone Maxes. You have an area to hang your jacket, remote control, kind of reminds me of the 90s. Drink tray, tables here. I do wish the tables were a bit higher, so maybe it's based off my feet and legs and stuff, but if I move my legs at all, it moves the whole table. So it is pretty close, and yeah, just makes it tough sometimes. I think that's pretty much it. Yeah. Pretty full flight too. So lots of people are going to Japan for Christmas and New Year's. Since we have status, the purser just came by to thank us for our loyalty and also offered us blankets. It's a pretty normal blanket, that's fine. No complaints. All right, so it is lunchtime, and there are 2 options. There's a pork one and also a chicken one that Mandy picked. Chicken one is more, I guess, Asian style or just like Hong Kong style, while the pork one is meant to be a Japanese style one. In addition, there's also bread, ice cream, drink, which I got a Diet Pepsi, chocolate, and a bottle of water. Utensils are going to be wooden and look fine. Not a fan of the rice by itself, but the pork is pretty good. The sauce and the pork itself works really well. I think if you take the sauce that the pork comes in and instead of the rice, then the rice is going to be a lot better. A little soggy on the rice end. Chicken's passable, it's white meat, but it's not overcooked, which is kind of surprising. Not the best cut, but it works. Sauce is fun. Okay, so ended up finishing Mandy's dish for her. She left the pasta, and this one ate the pork and the veggies, but didn't really bother with the rice. Kind of not the biggest fan there. Gonna skip the bread because I just don't want the carbs, and there's not really an excuse because there's no butter.
You just like butter.
Bread may or may not be a vehicle for butter. Next, we have the ice cream. Let's see if it's fully melted or if it's still hard as ice. Let's give the ice cream a taste. That's actually pretty good ice cream.
Not the best ice cream we're gonna eat. It's not Haagen-Dazs.
Still pretty good ice cream. Alright, so in the lounge for some food before the flight. This is going to be the other secondary lounge, so the one that's not attached to the first class one. Big benefit of this one, so if you think about the middle as the security area, turning left as the first and business one, That's about 10 minutes walk from there. This one is 10 minutes walk from the other side. It's like a U where the midpoint is security. This one's a lot calmer and it's pretty nice. Even for me, I feel like the other one was a bit chaotic where everyone is like fully running around and stuff. All the seats are full. And here there's a ton of empty seats. So take a look right here. Karaage, udon, dessert, mini bun, and also beer because I was in the mood for something. Pretty solid. I like udon though. The broth is pretty clean. I know Manny got the ramen one. She loves the ramen one, but sometimes it's a bit too much. And karaage on the side, which you can dip into the broth as well. Pretty nice crisp overall, not too bad. A bit fattier than you might expect. So there are some like fat chunks or fat like quadrants. That's fine. It's definitely not the best karaage I've ever had, like better ones elsewhere, but it's passable, and as someone who likes fried chicken, can't really complain. Pretty solid. Also, maybe it's a me thing, but I really like eating protein. Okay, let's try the mini dumpling. It's not bad. Filling inside is pretty tasty. It's okay, not outstanding, but it's passable. Last up, we have the dessert. Pretty much a red bean dessert, so there's syrup, red bean, and also these mochi balls. Might look a bit weird if you've never tasted it before, but try a bit, might like it. Gonna finish this off and see you in round 2. Right after boarding, the first thing they offer to do, since they noticed us taking pictures, is take a picture for us. We didn't have to ask them, they proactively did it. I don't know, for me that's really good service. A lot of other airlines wouldn't bother. Next up is going to be the welcome drink, and I got some orange juice. Pretty good. The business class cabin is pretty interesting, and there are going to be some seats that face forwards and others backwards. So Mandy's facing forwards, and I am facing backwards. So we pretty much have 2 seats that are facing each other, but there are screens in the middle. Pretty good setup if you are for player 2 and you want to take some pictures of each other, some pretty good ones, or if you want to pass food. There also is a middle setup which has a divider as well, so you can sit up for player 2. Let's do a seat tour. Right down here is the footwell, and it's pretty big. One thing to be careful with is going to be storage. So down here you can store your shoes or other items, but over here you cannot. Main reason being that the seat does go out there when you turn into bed mode. So if you store anything there, it's pretty much gonna get crushed. First thing I like to do when I board the flights are going to be changed into the slippers. So there is a goodie bag right over here. Slippers, headphones, and also amenities kit. This one we'll dive into afterwards once we're up in the air. Okay, first, slippers. They are pretty fluffy, but definitely not the fluffiest I've seen. On a scale of 1 to 10, probably about an 8. Seatbelt is gonna be a waist one as well as a side one. So waist one down here, tie it afterwards, buckle, tighten, and we're good to go.
If you're looking to fly this yourself, I'd recommend setting alerts with tools like Seats Arrow. It's not a live feed, so someone can still snag something that pops up an hour ago, but it just makes searching a lot easier whether you're booking through Virgin, United, or ANA directly. Depending on the plan you have, you can also search for a specific number of seats, so here it's I4, meaning there's 4 award seats. This has been my go-to tool for the last few years. If you're interested in the pro plan, go to asksebby.com/seatsarrow. Side note, if you're looking to get points or miles to book this trip yourself, best way is from credit card intro bonuses. If you want to learn more about cards, we have links on the website asksebby.com and also down below in the description box. Make sure the links are competitive, but otherwise, it's a huge way to support the channel, so thank you in advance.
Okay, so we're up in the air. Let's do a suite tour. Seatbelt sign just went off, so we're good to go. The door does close in case you're curious, and you can use that once you take off. Okay, slippers. Sometimes people tell me that the tab is supposed to be on the outside, which I get for a lot of other ones, but oftentimes they're on the same side, so that might not be the distinguisher. Oh, interesting. So there's not as much room as I thought down here. So for me, I can't put my shoes like this, doesn't fit, has to go sideways. In case you're wondering, cabin is about, I would say 33% full, maybe 25% full. So not as many people as you might think. Tons of the middle seats are wide open, and I'd probably say that there are about like 13 to 15 people here. These are going to be the headphones. Headphones are a bit smaller on the ear side, and it is ANA labeled. In case you're wondering, they are by Sony, and they are noise-canceling headphones. Putting them on, interesting. Yeah, it definitely doesn't fully cover my ear. It's kind of like right on top of it, but it does a decent job of noise canceling. So like getting rid of the cabin noise. I think it is going to get a little painful though, is my vibe, because of the pressure and stuff and the fact it's like right on my ear rather than over my ear. They did just come around to some stuff, so eye mask as well as normal mask. I'm actually going to pull my headphones out for comparison because I think it's important, especially for big-headed people. So these are also Sony's. These are the ones I normally use, and my ears fit right inside, perfectly comfortable, and does a great job. And this is a comparison. Probably not a problem for normal people, but yeah, if you're like me, you might want to bring your own headphones. Probably a nitpick, but yeah, given how nice the rest of the cabin is, I feel like this is a bit of a weak spot. Also, Bluetooth headphone jacks have been a lifesaver, and I've been a huge fan. Wet wipes because meal service is starting soon. Menus here. Blanket. That actually feels really nice, almost like a pillow. Oh wow, that's a really nice blanket. Okay, yes, it is a blanket. It does unwrap afterwards. Pillow is going to be right down here. Also, a secondary pillow right here as well. And finally, mattress topper for when you go to bed mode. Let's take a look at the menu. Here are 2 sake options and also 2 sochu ones. Champagne right up here and some white wine as well. Here are the red wines, and if you want something a bit stronger, there are going to be aperitifs and cocktails. Also whiskey and other spirits. Up here the beer and alcohol-free beer, dessert wine, brandy, and liqueur. Also a ton of non-alcoholic drinks as well, ranging from juices, sodas, and coffees. A lot of A&A drinks and blends are going to be pretty nice, so I'd recommend trying those as well. For dinner, you do have 2 options, whether you want the Japanese menu or the Western one. Here is a Japanese menu, and you have a bunch of small courses, and you can also get it all served together as well into one tray and one setup. But yeah, main idea is a lot of small plates and dishes, and you can enjoy them together. This is the international one. Some highlights are going to be the jelly foie gras, and either the beef or the mackerel. After the main meal, you can order additional items as well. So a ton of light dishes, soups, noodles, refreshments, snacks, and also other Japanese and international items. Also, continental breakfast. This is the team that makes the food. What are you getting?
International.
Okay, let's set up for the meal. Step 1. Step 2. Step 3. Okay, first up is the mousse and the signature steaks. Right up here we have some peppers, some shrimp, olive down here, and also some cheese towards the bottom. Let's give it a taste. Pretty normal cheese, but tastes good. Pretty good. Not the biggest fan of their sticks, but they're tasty. They're ones that happily eat in the air and happily eating now. But if I was on the ground, I don't think I'd have a craving for it. Food's here and it looks amazing. Ended up opting for the Japanese one since Mandy's doing the international one, and I figured we kind of mix and match and see the differences. Also, I feel like 2 of the same dishes might not be the most interesting, especially if you are watching both videos. It looks pretty fancy though. First, let's get our utensils out. First time seeing a rubber band. Spoon, fork, and chopstick. Really good chopsticks too. Didn't even have to do the shaving thing because I guess they're pretty high quality. Let's start with this one, which almost feels too beautiful to break, but we have the shrimp. What the heck? So it's cooked in a miso broth and it tastes amazing, has a ton of miso flavor. I don't think I've had a shrimp like that before. I've had a lot of shrimp in my life, but yeah, that's pretty unique. The next 5, I'm a bit less sure what they are. I think this is squid. Yeah, it definitely looks squiddy. Super delicate squid and delicious. You bite right through it. Not really that chewy at all compared to what you might expect. That's delicious. I think it also is simmered in a broth because there's a lot of flavor there. Moving on, we have this one, which I think is either a root vegetable or a pickle. Okay, definitely not either of the things I said. It's pretty much raw, but like recooked or reshaped into this. For lack of better terminology, you can taste the balls blowing up in your mouth. I didn't think I'd say this, but pretty good balls though. This one looks like rice, and I'm not sure what's on top. Texture-wise and looks-wise, it looks like fish skin. Not really a fan of that one, but it's okay. Pretty strong aftertaste too. This one looks like egg. Almost dropped it. So it's not egg, it's ham. And it's pretty tasty. Kind of reminds me of Spam. Delicious. Last one should be egg, and it looks like tamago. That's a really good tamago. Smell in your mouth, gooey, and delicious. You can also taste the sake, which is nice. Yeah, pretty good. Okay, next up we have the fish. So this is going to be salmon. It's not bad, but I'm not the biggest fan of it. Lots of flavors, but definitely a bit overcooked. Flavor-wise, it kind of tastes like a tuna salad. This one, I believe, is kind of a potato. Yep, not really the biggest fan of this plate. One exception is usually this one, which is pretty much a gluten ball. I guess I like gluten. Last up here, we have more fish and also some sauce. Really good cut and super flavorful, pretty much melt in your mouth. Speed run eating now. That fish is still so good. Okay, so time for dessert, and there's going to be 3 options. You have cheese and crackers, you have fruit, and also a chocolate mousse. In addition, I also got a coffee with some milk. Let's taste the coffee by itself first. It's not bad. Yeah, pretty good. Okay, so I also ordered a chocolate mousse because I figured why not. Looks pretty good. Let's try the fruit. I think I'm gonna start off with apple because it's the most simple of the bunch. I think we literally have some of the most acidic items. So we have apple, we have kiwi, pineapple, and grapefruit. I think apple's the most subtle starting point. Pretty sweet, a little mealy, but that's fine. I feel like sweetness is still the main indicator. Next to pineapple. Not as sweet, but still pretty good. This is the kiwi. Kiwi is surprisingly good. Finally, the grapefruit. It's a grapefruit, it's normal. Moving on, we have the chocolate mousse. Pretty beautiful looking. You have chocolate, you have some cream up here, you have some sparkles, I think, and also some sauce on the side. Raspberry sauce is pretty sharp, but it's a nice way to balance out the rest of the mousse. There also is a second layer towards the bottom, which is a bit darker, which kind of looks like cake. This darker mousse tastes pretty good. I feel like I need to use the milk now that I asked for it, even though I'm half done the coffee. So I'm going to use it, but I don't think the coffee here needs the milk. There are plain coffees that are terrible, that are not great, where you really do need it. Here it's fine. Overall, I think the meal's pretty solid, and they are pretty fast about turning off the lights once meal service is stopped, since a lot of people are kind of at my stage where they're done dessert, and a lot of people are probably going to try to sleep. I'm going to finish this up and then try to do a quick tour of everything in the next 5 or 10 minutes. So first off, they already dimmed the cabin lights, but it is only 7:20 p.m. local time from where we flew from. Still pretty early. If you are looking to read or do other stuff, there are a ton of lights. Left, right, up. Oh no, these are accent lights. So these lights is this button, and then also the meal lights. A lot of lights all the way around. 1, 2, 3, and 4. You also can close the door, which is right over here. So kind of 2 settings. Number 1 is like this, which is partially closed. And number 2 is fully closed, but it's actually not this one. It's going to be down here. That's pretty spiffy. Also a lot less janky than some other doors we've used in the past. If you don't want as much lighting or maybe less intense, you can press the buttons a few times and it'll have a mid setting. So this is max setting, let's go to middle. So this is the mid setting, which might still be a bit harder to see on camera, but let me know if you notice the difference. This is one more press. This one feels more noticeable, bit dimmer. And the last time is off. All of these are going to be right over here. Footwell is pretty big and there is a light down here as well. So right now it has the comforter and the pillow. Yeah, definitely a lot of room to spread out and enjoy yourself. Reminder that even with the privacy doors, people can still see inside. as they walk by. So for example, this is me standing up, and you can see Mandy right over here.
Do you want some candy?
Right down here is the remote. Pretty sizable. Yeah, surprisingly big. If you do want to open up the doors, you slide it across. Pressing it again doesn't do anything. It's not electronic. It's pretty much a spring. Down here you have the headphone jack, main seat area, and also a ton of leather trimming throughout the seat. You do have this felt material down here, and up here it's more leather. Over here are the blinds, and it is dark outside, so you can do one press and it'll fully open. And if you want to do half, you can kind of stop, press it again, it stops where it is. And there is that secondary blind afterwards behind. So this is kind of if you want a bit of shade, but you still want some cover. Down here you have another headphone jack. Table, pretty gigantic. Be careful you don't leave stuff down here because it can get hidden. And this is the cabinet. There's going to be a mirror, some areas to store stuff, and the main area, which I think is meant for your headphones and maybe a water bottle. So they did pass these out right after dinner for people that do want to sleep. Again, it is 7 p.m. and people are up watching movies. One thing you can do is pair your phone or other tablet device with the screen. Okay, been trying to do it for a few minutes. Not showing up on my end, so might be a bit of a dud, at least for this flight, or might be my device or something. I don't know. Trying the headphones, they're passable, but you definitely hear a lot of the plane noise. It helps a little bit, but yeah, not as much as some other headphones. Your mileage may vary, but I'd probably bring and use my own headphones, which is what I'm gonna do now. Okay, one of my favorite modes, and I don't think I've noticed this on any other plane, is eating mode. There's bed mode, there's takeoff mode, but on the far right, there is eating mode. So bed mode is flat, like you'd expect. Takeoff mode is kind of very proper. Eating mode is a little bit forward. So this is me going to eating mode. I think it's hard to tell on the screen, but it's like tilted a bit forward. It just makes sense. If you think of seat like as a normal L, it's kind of like a little bit forward L. I feel like it's a bit less strain on your back as well if you don't want to lean forward to do that. But yeah, just makes sense. But it is a little bit weird because I don't think I'm otherwise used to this. Almost feels like a roller coaster. In case you're wondering what the bathroom looks like, it's pretty straightforward for the most part. You have a seat like you normally do. Wall looks pretty nice with the wallpaper. Nice little touch there. Gigantic mirror right over here. Baby changing station. Pretty nice one too. I guess I wouldn't really know, but yeah. It feels pretty sturdy. This is going to be a bidet system, which is pretty awesome given that it's a plane. The seat does have a bit of wear and tear, which is a bit surprising because I'm kind of wondering where the scratches came from kind of the sides, but it might be from the lid. Lights throughout, which make it look pretty nice and classy. And also toothbrush and toothpaste and mouthwash and face and body sheets. They also do refill these because earlier there was only one mouthwash left after dinner and now there's like 10. Let's brush up and take a nap. So we have about 4 hours and 56 minutes left on the flight. Pretty short in retrospect. This is flight ANA8, so NH8, and we're in seat 15K to San Francisco. About 5 hours left. Started in Tokyo Narita, and we are over the ocean right now. Total flight time 7 hours and 52 minutes. Time to destination 4 hours and 55. With that said, let's set up the bed. This is the comforter mattress. First, let's actually adjust the seat. So this is current takeoff mode. This is what it looks like for meal mode. Pretty much leaning forward like you're eating. And this is bed mode. Oh, my leg should not be there. Oh, okay. Now I know why they don't let it automatically lay down, because I probably would have crushed my legs. So lie flat bed. In economy, you do make your own bed, and pillow over here, another pillow, and blanket. Seat is super comfortable and you have a ton of room. This is the footwell and there's a decent amount of space. Not a lot, but more than some other ones, and at least my feet aren't curved. They're still in a pretty default position. There is a bar on the top right though, hard to see. That is a little bit annoying. Yeah, definitely nitpicking there. As someone that's 5'11", this is right at the comfortable spot, so my feet are touching the edge, but my head is not. I can't really get it to a point where neither side touches. I think for 5'10" under, you're gonna be fine, you're gonna be a happy camper. But 5'11" over, it is a little bit tougher, but it's fine. You're still in business class, it's hard to complain. But that said, you also can sleep diagonally, and that kind of alleviates the problem. So this is normal like this, and then if you curve or if you're a side sleeper, then it works perfectly. Mandy's seat, on the other hand, is better for right side sleepers. Ramen is here and it smells amazing. So huge garlic scents coming off of it. Kind of surprised for airplane ramen. I guess it does make sense. It's from Maputo and they're pretty good for their ramen. There also has a spice pack if you are looking for a kick. It smells like black garlic. I'm super excited for this. Surprisingly good chopsticks, no splintering at all. Okay, let's take a look at the ramen. Smells like Maputo. I feel like plain ramen has no right of tasting this good. Really good broth, bit of garlic, and full flavor. I feel like Mandy and I have a lot of ramen in San Francisco, but it doesn't really compare to Japan, and a lot of places don't even compare to this. Let's add a bit of spice. Ooh, the bit of sauce that was on my finger had a pretty good kick. That's really good. I like spicy, and I'm a fan. I'm actually gonna put a bit more too. It hits the spot and it's delicious. Also note that this is vegan, but it doesn't taste like it, so it tastes delicious like it normally does. Full of umami and flavor. So I thought I ordered the rice bowl with Japanese style sweet and sour pork, and then I think they heard rice ball set.
You must really love the rice then.
Yeah, I think it's a plate of rice. But since I ordered it, I'll eat it anyways. Not a big deal. Also looks interesting. I don't think I've had this before. It's pretty much 2 types of rice and egg. But yeah, definitely one of those situations where I just didn't enunciate enough, especially since we're up in the air. 3rd time and still perfect. Like, very high-end chopsticks. Impressed. Over here we have brown rice, white rice. I think this is a piece of chicken or pork, and an egg over here. First time having this, and flavors are actually pretty interesting. It's not just rice by itself, it feels like it was cooked in a different type of broth. It's just a hint though, so it's not super strong. It's not like it was a risotto or anything. Yeah, it's not as boring as it looks. Start a white rice. Pretty much teriyaki and outer flakes inside that add a bit of flavor. Piece of meat. Now I kind of want a plate of just that meat because it's pretty tasty. It's chicken karaage and super flavorful. Egg. Egg's okay. Gonna finish this off and see you in a minute. And there's something about being able to stretch out my legs and watch a movie and enjoy myself and also move my arms around and not hit other people or hit the seat because a lot of room will cross. So this is pretty much the halfway point of the seat if you think of it like a square. Alrighty, breakfast is here and we're about an hour and a half away from landing. Ended up getting the Japanese meal and there's quite a few things along with some rice. We have some tasty tidbits which are going to be beans, seaweed, and sweet potato, and also a salad. The main dish is simmered ocean perch in soy-based sauce and steamed rice. Also miso soup and Japanese pickles. Here are the apps, miso soup, and the main fish. Chopstick test. Inside the miso soup, there's also some tofu skins. There is a bit of turbulence, so hopefully you don't mind the shaking and it doesn't show up on the screen. Here are the beans, seaweed, and potatoes. Kinda looks like a potato salad. Pretty much a bean potato salad. So 3 different types of beans, normal ones, kind of pale ones, and edamame. For the first bite, I wasn't that much of a fan, but it is growing on me. Even though it's December, it brings me to summer. Okay, let's try the main. Unwrapping the rice. So fish. Definitely overcooked, but flavors are really good. Mushroom. I didn't expect to say this, but the veggies are really good. Rice. Rice is pretty normal and tastes good with the sauce. Completely didn't expect this, but for me the highlight of this one is going to be the potato salad with beans and seaweed. I don't think I've had that before and it just works. Oh, I guess there's also some pickled veggies I forgot about. Let's do that right now. Pretty normal there, but still good. We have an hour and 4 minutes before landing. It's still dark right now, so hopefully we'll catch the sunrise on the way there. So in Tokyo right now, it is midnight or a bit over midnight. In San Francisco, it's 7 a.m. and this is what it looks like. Also, there's Mandy. So her seat is facing me. I'm facing towards the back, she's facing towards the front, and the cabin lights are now turning on. So you guys got to catch that. That's pretty cool. So even if you were sleeping, you're gonna be getting up now. Cool, so glad we caught that. Now the lights that are around me are feeling a little unnecessary, so I'm gonna dim them a little bit. Otherwise it feels very aggressive, like everyone's looking at me. Okay, I think I actually have to finish this pretty fast, so see you in a bit. This is the A&A signature green tea. This is not the signature tea, this is actually vegetable soup. It's a clear broth and delicious. The reason for the mix-up is because I also ordered the green tea as well. So ordered 2 drinks, then turbulence started happening, so I think they didn't really want to serve 2. Delicious. Okay, we are shaking a lot. I think I should use the restroom while I still can, because I think once they turn on the light, they're not gonna let me. It just beeped, but the light is still not on. Okay, I'll see you in like a minute.
The room easily lives up to the hype and might be the best business class product flying right now, especially if you care about space. The width is absurd. You're basically getting a private sofa in the sky and it's wider than most first class seats. If you like sitting cross-legged side sleeping or just spreading out with your laptop and meal tray at the same time, this is the one to beat. The privacy is also top tier. Sliding doors, high walls, and a layout that makes every seat feel tucked away. Add in a huge 24-inch 4K screen with Bluetooth, and it's a clear winner. The main downside is the length, but might be a non-issue for most people. Again, if you want to learn about cards, to get points, to take this trip yourself, we have links on the website asksebby.com and also down below in the description box. Thank you in advance and means a ton. If you made it to this point, leave a code emoji in the comments down below and I'll try to heart it and respond. 3 questions: what are your thoughts on the room? Which airline is your go-to for Asia? Also, do you go for the Asian menu or international for Trans-Pacific? Let me know and everyone else know in the comments down below. Big favor, hit the like button, share this, but otherwise hope you liked it. See you in the sky.